Morning, Wednesday, March the 28th, 2018. Welcome along to a rather grey and drizzly United Kingdom talk on this Wednesday, boys and girls. I was woken up this morning by the pitter-pattering of rain. Oh, I love it. Now, I had my window open last night. I like to have my window. Unless it's really cold, I've generally got my bedroom window open. Now, some people, it might be dangerous. What if someone breaks in? Well, where my window is, first of all, I'm on the first floor. You know, ground one. I'm on the ground floor. Then the window is at the side of the house. And then underneath that is this like lean-to with a plastic roof. And you can't get up the side, so it's reasonably safe. Except, of course, for the giant, massive spiders that could climb into my window. I found one the other day. Somehow it got into a cupboard. How do they do that? It's a great big cupboard. I opened the door because I'm packing my case, ready for my impending trip to Lincolnshire. In a few days' time. I open a cupboard because what I do is I rent a caravan in Lincolnshire. And in this particular caravan, you have to take your own sheets and your own duvet covers. And your own... I take a duvet as well. A duvet, yes. I take one of those as well because I like my own one, you know what I mean? So I'm putting all that in the case. I open the door to this cupboard. There's a giant spider on the wall. About 10 foot... Well, look, 10 feet across to me. I don't know what that means in metres, dear. What? Convert it? Oh... 10 foot, so that's about 400 metres across, this spider was. With the body, it was the size of a large human. Someone like Bernard Manning with a mouth. Yes, it was in there. So it's always a little bit of a dodgy thing. You can get spiders climbing in the windows or other evil creatures waiting to eat you as they come out. Frightening. So that was last night. I had a nice bit of sleep. And I was woken up. I woke up just before my alarm because I like to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Woke up just before the alarm and the rain's coming. And I can hear the rain extra loud from that window because of the plastic roof, which is on the lean-to downstairs. It's like a corrugated thing. There's no way you can stand on it. You know, sometimes I hear a cat jump onto it and it walks down and makes loads of noise. I love being in bed when it's raining, don't you? If I wasn't doing a show this morning, I probably would have stayed in there for another hour just listening. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter, pitter-patter. Sends you off to sleep, doesn't it? The sound of rain and certain things like that. There are machines you can buy, Amazon sell them, that play rain noises. Or seashore noises, with the sea coming forwards and back, or jungle noises with animals, the noises of animals making in jungles. A rah 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 rah, a rah 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 rah, woo 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 woo, yeah. You can actually buy gadgets like that to play you off to sleep. Whereas, of course, as a viewer to this programme and a listener to my many different types of shows, you know you don't need one of those gadgets. Just put one of my shows on and you are guaranteed to drop off in the space of minutes. That is actually true, that is. Let's say hello to some early morning people. Good morning to Adam the plumber, getting the first message in this morning. Morning, Adam. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining me, incidentally, Adam, and everyone else for my music and chat show last night, which was on Reach. I can never remember the exact name of the blooming... Is it Reach? It is Reach on Air, isn't it? Reach, hang on. Yes, reachonair.com. I'm moving my music and chat show from Upload Radio to reachonair.com, mainly because of the fact I can do it live on there, you see. So last night was a little bit of a tryout. We were just trying out to see that it all worked all right. And it worked. It actually worked perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. So I was very, very pleased by the end of the show last night. Oh, I was ever so nervous. Isn't it funny? Now, talking to you now, I'm not nervous at all. It's like you're there. Do you know what I mean? It's like we're sitting next to each other. But doing that music and chat show, I think it's a worry that something technical isn't going to work right. But it worked perfectly last night. So I was quite pleased with that. Now, I was going to ask you, I think After I did it, I thought, well, I was pleased with it, but it's not really a nighttime show, is it? It's a bit fast moving, I think, to be a nighttime show. So I think I'm probably going to leave it at 10 o'clock on a Monday morning. What do you think? Have you got any suggestions of that? Please put them up there. Okay, my music and chat show, either 10 o'clock in the morning on a Monday or a nighttime one. Or one of each. Which do you fancy? Your suggestions, please. And I'll look at them and take them sort of on board. And when I decide where I want it to go, I'll let you know, okay? So, morning? I think it's a morning show. I think it's because it's quite fast moving. I think it's a morning show. If I was to do it at night, I think I'd have to slow it down a bit. You know, talk more in a seductive tone with a deep voice or something like that. Maybe. Good morning, Adam. Morning to the lovely Christina. Hello to Dennis, who is in Las Vegas, USA. Oh, I've been to Las Vegas. I love it, Dennis. I love Las Vegas. Absolutely do. I've done the Grand Canyon, helicopter, plane, and that river. What is the river? What's the river in Vegas? Oh, is it the Colorado? Oh, it was great. So quiet and peaceful. The only thing is the captain was a bit drunk. I kid you not. The bloke driving the boat was absolutely drunk. He nearly fell overboard at one point. All part of the fun of Las Vegas. It really is. Is anyone with us on YouTube this morning? Can someone see if that's working? Because yeah, the message thing is up there. So I love it. Hello to Bonsai, who is in Indonesia. Welcome along to the show, Bonsai. You're very welcome, okay? Diane's there. Morning, Diane. Dennis Granger. Good morning, Dennis. Recently moved back to London. That is you, isn't it? The one who moved back to London. Morning, Dennis. Hello to the lovely Hayley and Lee Lane. All right, Hayley. Up to north. I'll see you at the weekend, my darling. Rod Brown's there. Good morning, Rod. Hello, Rod. Thank you, Dennis. I'm glad you love the shows. Yes, Adam says a morning show. I think so as well. Morning show. So, Dennis, you're near the Hoover Dam. All right. I might have a visit up to Vegas soon, actually. Haven't decided yet. I might be going back to Vegas soon at some point. So there we are. Good. That's all your messages. Oh, that's nice and tidy this morning, isn't it? Good. So woken up, told you about the chat show last night, and we had lots of messages in last night. Thank you very much for that. As I say, Adam says a morning. Good morning, Julian. Morning, Julian. Well, I love Vegas. What happens in Vegas, stay in Vegas. The only thing is, when you're walking down the Vegas Strip, people keep coming up to you with little cards asking you if you'd like a girl in your room. No, thank you. Don't want any females in the room. Thank you very much. No, not for the night anyway. What am I going to do with that? It's true. You get these. Everyone's handing out cards. Would you like a girl in your room? No. Can I have some breakfast instead? Can you request breakfast instead of a girl in your room? I think that sounds quite a nice idea, doesn't it? Yeah. Let's see. So after I finished the music and chat show last night, I watched a bit of Netflix, Mr. Selfridge, and without me knowing, it was the last one. And Mr. Selfridge gets sacked by his own board at the end of it. Oh my God, I was in pieces. How can you sack Mr. Selfridge? Anyway, so he went back to the store, come out, and all his staff was lined up that had worked with him for years. And they were all clapping as he walked through. And it was all very sad. And I thought, and right at the very end, I thought, oh, please let May be there. Please let May be there, because May should have been with Mr. Selfridge years ago. And he got outside and he's standing at the windows of his shop where he's just been sacked from his own shop, crying. And then May calls out, "You all right, Harry?" And he looks over, she's there. And they go off hand in hand. Oh, God. And it's all so sad. And I'm going to have to watch that episode again very soon. I love it. Please, if you've not seen it before, and I've gone on about this now for weeks, haven't I? Do please watch Mr. Selfridge, which is available on Netflix, certainly in the UK. I don't know if it's in the USA either. All right. Good. So I watched that, This morning I watched the end of Casualty and a little bit of Holby City, where, of course, Mr. Hanson is back. Mr. Hanson is back in Holby City, isn't he? Hang on a minute. Oh, excuse me, got itchy nose. So that's good. Do you still keep getting these Facebook 5 years of friendship things out? And I make a little video. I find them very annoying, actually. 2 things that are annoying me on Facebook at the moment. Keep getting up these, like, oh, we are celebrating 6 years of friendship with da-da-da-da. And you look at them, I don't know who they are. Who are these people? Do you get that at all? I get people coming up to me, but oh, hello, Chris, how are you? Oh, I'm really well. Oh, I haven't seen you for some time. I know, and I'm like, I know where you living now. I ain't got a clue who they are. Not a clue who I'm talking to half the time. Isn't that strange and mysterious? I think these are made-up people that someone has sent from another world that are trying to entice me back to their world to entertain them on their television programs. What do you reckon? I could walk out of here later and be sucked up by a spaceship waiting to transport me to another planet. Well, let's hope they don't muck that one up like they're mucking up this one with plastic bottles and fumes and things like that. Oh, isn't one of the members of Parliament considering putting 30 pence as a deposit on plastic bottles? That might work, mightn't it? Oh, we used to do that with glass bottles years ago. Corona. Remember Corona? Lemonade. Ah, White's lemonade. Ah, White's lemonade. You're a secret lemonade drinker. Ah, White's. Ah, White's. You used to buy the lemonade and it might be, I don't know, 10 pence and another 10 pence as a deposit on the glass bottle, and you would take it back and then they would wash it out and make it all again. Surely it's easier to give out glass bottles, collect them again, wash those out and reuse them, rather than with plastic bottles, give those out, get those back, and then smash them all to pieces, melt them down, make them into bottles again, and surely it must be easier to recycle glass bottles. You would think so, wouldn't you? I wonder what is the actual truth with that there. Very, very strange. Very strange. Dennis says he fills in for karaoke at Vince Neil's Circus Circus. What's Circus Circus? I don't know what. Is that something in Vegas? Is that a karaoke place in Vegas? Circus Circus. Do let us know, because if it is, I might try and get to that. We love the karaoke. I love the karaoke. Good morning, Andy, who says, can you see now? Can see you now, Anakin down the stairs for your R. White's lemonade. Sneaking. You mean sneaking? Yes. I don't have to sneak in this house. Sadly, there's no one else here. I just walk around naked sometimes just to enjoy that part of life myself. Walk around the house completely naked, which can be a little bit cold in the winter. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm not sure I'm getting your messages because there's nothing coming up this morning, so be aware of that. All right, my darlings. We are on Facebook as well, facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK if you want to join us on there. All right, facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK. Got some stories for you as well this morning. How about this? This is fantastic. This is the world's first electric car that takes 3 days to print. Oh yes, a 3D printed car. Now, I find this whole 3D printing thing quite amazing. I really do. You can, of course, buy a domestic 3D printing machine now, and you get all these designs and they print out shapes and things. Now, I don't see the point of that. I suppose if you were a child, you might want something like that. Oh, let's print out a star today, and it goes to work. But they can do a lot more than that. Not domestically, you wouldn't be able to buy one. Well, you would if you had the money. But anyway, this is in this morning's Daily Mirror. The tiny car, designed by XEV Limited, I think they're Chinese, has a range of 93 miles on a single charge, which is, I suppose, about average. That's like the Nissan Leaf, isn't it? Although it can only reach top speeds of 43 miles an hour. Well, that's okay if you're in London or somewhere like that, isn't it? Very good. It says, while many electric cars come with a fairly hefty price tags, A new electric vehicle costs just £7,500 and is 3D printed. The LSEV takes just 3 days to print and bears a close resemblance to a smart car, which indeed it does. It's very, very similar to the smart car shape. I have to say, they're fast little things, those smart cars. I don't know if I'd feel safe in one, though. You know, you've got nothing extra around you, have you? I remember once test driving a Mini, and once that door was closed, I felt really enclosed in this thing. Now, I had a Toyota Aygo some years ago now. Now, that's a small car, but I never felt that I was, like, closed in that. You know, you had plenty of room sort of between your arm and the door there. Why is my nose always itchy? It's always this side and it itchy. It goes on, by 3D printing the vehicle, production costs could be reduced by as much as 90%, according to XEV Limited. The car is made from 60 individual parts, significantly less than the 2,000 parts seen in normal cars, which makes it quicker and easier to assemble. Well, of course, the thing is with electric cars, you don't need an engine, do you? All those pipes and like that thing going up and down, pistons and oil, all that oil inside. You don't need any of that. It's just 4 electric motors, one on each wheel, and turning on. I mean, there's an electric motor turning that round. Look how small that is, right at the top there. Tiny. Hey, I'll show you. One moment, please. I shall now remove you to another camera. Oh, we got hundreds of cameras in it. Right, look, here, look. Let me put that up there. See that black thing? That's the electric motor there. Isn't it clever? It's tiny. So all you need on an electric car is like four, you know, obviously not the same as that one, but 4 of those. That's all you need. No engine. Must be so much cheaper to build. It says, while you might worry that a plastic car wouldn't be safe, this is where I'm coming, this is a bit of bugbearer for me. XEV Limited assures that an additional field filler has been added that increases strength and would absorb the impact in the event of a collision. Now, I don't know what sort of collision they're thinking about there. I mean, if it was a collision with a large articulated lorry, I don't think you'd stand much chance. On the other hand, would you stand a chance in any car if a large articulated lorry hit you in the side? XEV Limited hopes to have printed 6 cars by the end of July, but says as many as 20,000 models could be on sale in Europe and Asia by the end of next year. They say XEV is a first real mass production project using 3D printing. By saying real, I mean there's lots of other companies using 3D for production, but nothing can really compare with the XEV in terms of the size, the scale and the intensity. And for like £7,500. Now, this car is small. It wouldn't be any good to me. Okay? Number one, I can do more than 93 miles in a day easily. Depending, if I used the same route to work every day, I'd probably just about get away with having an electric car that only does 93 miles an hour. Now, this is the thing, when they say 93 miles an hour, that's like in perfect conditions. That would have been done in a factory. Might be a different thing if in the middle of winter and it's snowing and it's dark, you've got all your lights on, the radio's on, and more importantly, the heater. Now, you know your heaters at home from your electricity bills, what a difference that makes, because they don't half draw electricity. Space heating is the biggest drawer of electricity, I think, in a house. Like a tumble dryer as well, something like that, you know? Anything that heats air uses a lot of electricity. So if you're in that car, okay, it's only small, but if you're in that car for an hour or two going to work, an hour or two coming, and you've got that heater on for that whole time, I mean, what else are you going to do? You can't just sit in there with 5 coats on because you can't turn the heater on because you're worried about the battery flattening, are you? Huh? So in those conditions, I doubt that it's going to do 93 miles. More likely 65, 70. And I'd be in trouble, you know. I'd get halfway home and I'd run out of electric. And you don't want to pull into a garage, do you? Plug it in and wait an hour or whatever. Oh, Christ, to get home. I've always said with electric cars, I don't think they're going to take off. They are selling them, but I don't think they're going to take off until they can get batteries that will do a minimum of 250 miles under all conditions. So 250 miles with the heater full on, the lights full on, and the radio going for 250 miles. You've got to be able to do 250 miles under the worst conditions. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. Don't say 250 miles, in the middle of summer when you're in the middle of winter, and that's no good, you see. I mean, for me to get up to my sister, I think is about 140 miles, 150 miles to my sister's house. And I do that a few times a year. Generally, that is my longest journey usually, unless I'm going on a holiday or something, and it can be a bit more than that, because I was supposed to be going to Yorkshire as well in a few weeks' time for a little holiday with my nephew and his family in one of the Haven holiday places. But it's good. I mean, we're getting there, aren't we? For a city car, I quite like that. Would you like one of those electric cars? Do you fancy a little electric car, something like that? I think they're wonderful. I've been waiting for an electric car for years, to be honest. Years I've been waiting for an electric car. But they can't get the battery right. Toyota, I don't think, are doing electric cars at all. Or at least the last time I checked, they weren't. They're big on the hybrids, and they were thinking of doing... Is it a nitrogen car? Oxygen car? Oh, fuel cell car. I'm not quite sure what that means. They were going to do that, weren't they? I don't think they're going along the electric route for some reason. Strange. Adam says, when I worked at the Black Cat, we used to have glass bottles to beer, which then get sent to the brewery. You wouldn't find them these days. Yeah, glass bottles for the beer. Well, they still use glass bottles, Adam, but I don't think they don't send them back. They would send them back, they'd wash them out and use them again. How did we ever get to the thing of throwing everything away like that? Madness, really, isn't it? Let me just check something. Madness, I'm sure it's madness. One moment, please. Just checking something. Checking. Stand by. Ah, there we are. So the YouTube thing isn't working this morning. There we are. That often happens. I don't know why. The YouTube doesn't always work for some reason. I have no idea why that is. A little bit later, the YouTube people will start messaging me saying that they didn't get a message this morning that we were on. It's just not working. It's nothing I'm doing. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Very annoying. Very annoying. Haley said, that car is no good where I live on all these open roads. Yeah, because you do lots of distance driving up there. I mean, once you move outside a city, I suppose 40, 50 miles on a journey isn't unusual, is it? When I drive to London, I can do 50 miles going to work if I take a long roundabout route to try and avoid the traffic. I like an electric car. My car has an electric mode. It only does it for a couple of miles, and when the battery goes down, the engine kicks in again. But it's so quiet when it goes along. My niece, Tracy, I've got a story about her in a minute, actually. Breastfeeding story coming up. Breastfeeding story coming up. Warning, warning, breastfeeding story coming up. Those of you who are a little bit worried about women's breast steer, that's coming up in a moment. But she is always very, very impressed by how quiet my car is when it pulls off or when it goes to electric mode, just whirs along quietly. Pay full attention, those of you walking across the roads with earphones on. Stupid people. Good morning to Kevin Webster. Ray Reynolds, International, was there this morning. Good morning, Ray. We had a late night chat last night, me and Ray, after I finished my music and chat show, didn't we? Good morning to the lovely non-Irish Mary from Ireland. Good morning, Mary. Are you along Friday, Mary? We're wondering what sort of hairstyle you'll have this week. Mary's already done the Scottish Terrier look. Last Friday, I think it was Friday last week you was in, she did the Dougal look that had been dyed red. Dougal from the Magic Roundabout. What are you going to do this week? Can you do a cat? Can we do a cat look? Or a mane? A tiger. Not a tiger, a lion with the mane all round it like that. I quite like the sound of that. Morning, Jerry. See if you can find a tiger outfit or something like that. Be quite nice, wouldn't it? Right, so I'm telling you, my niece, Tracy, she's got a little baby James, who's massive now. I can't believe our big babies get in like 6 months. They come out like that, and then suddenly like that. Anyway, so my niece was running a bit late the other day, and I had decided to take her little family into McDonald's for a snack. Now, my niece is very good at cooking. If she takes them to McDonald's, that won't be a dinner. That'll be a snack. A snack. I don't get people who go to McDonald's or Kentucky Fried Chicken and consider that a meal. Because it's not. Where are the vegetables? Where's all the good bits? You know, a bit of bread and a bit of dead animal in the 2 bits of bread. Where's the carrots? Where's the peas? There's nothing, is there? Not even baked beans. Nothing like that. Rubbish food. Rubbish food, that's what it is. And she's very good at doing home cooking, and she does it all from scratch. No ready meals, shoved in the microwave for 10 minutes, full of salt and sugar. Don't eat them. That's why half of the people in the world are so fat. Because they keep eating ready meals all the time. Very bad. Anyway, so she's gone into McDonald's. Baby James has started crying. So it's time for a feed. Out comes the breast. And starts feeding it. So usually this isn't a problem anywhere. I certainly don't have a problem with this at all. Never have had, really. It's just like a natural thing, isn't it? Doesn't bother anyone. Not really. I've been in restaurants, even in the swimming pool. I've been in the swimming pool, you know. There's been a lady laying on the wooden thing, like a like a wooden long chair. What are they called? Steamer chairs. Laying on a steamer chair, baby attached to her breast, but it's okay. Just a normal thing to me. Don't bother me. Other men are, I can't look. Oh, don't be so bloody pathetic. Natural thing. Anyway, across on a table, and my niece has got with her, obviously, baby James, who's having its dinner. There's Emily, who's a little girl, 4 years old. And there's George, her little boy, who's 5 years old. And they're all sitting on this table quietly. Group of teenage girls. I mean, I haven't got to say any more, have I? Teenage girls. You know, teenage girls. Mouthy cows. Mouthy cows. Teenage girls sitting on a table opposite start mouthing off. Why don't she put that away? Anyway, my niece looked over, didn't say anything, and they're going on a bit. Well, with that, you'll love this. With that, her little girl, 4 years old, has got up, gone over to the table going, don't you speak to my mum like that. You're mean, you are. Mean. And she's having a go at the girls. She's 4 years old. Oh, I would love to have been there and filmed that, wouldn't you? She's going like this to these girls. Now, I don't think the girls answered the little girl back. They were quite shocked. But she's like a Rottweiler. If anything says something to her mum, she goes mad. I mean, as a joke, excuse me, I've got itch on my back. Oh, I've got really itchy back now. Can I use these? I shall use these scissors. Just a moment, please. It's okay. They're not sharp. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, itchy. Oh, just a minute. Oh, itchy back. Oh, I can't stand it. Why has my back suddenly gone so itchy? Oh, God, that's so much better. Oh, excuse me. Do you ever get a desperate itch like that? A sudden desperate itch? Sorry about that, boys and girls. Yeah, she's like a Rottweiler if you say anything to her mum. As a joke, obviously, sometimes I say to my niece, my great niece and my great nephew, I'm feeling hungry today. Now, what can I eat? I'm going to eat Mummy! And I go over to her and go, They go mad. George ends up in tears. He ends up in tears. Emily comes over and starts bashing me. No, you're not eating my mummy. So this incident has gone on for a while with little Emily going, leave my mummy alone like that. She's 4 years old, stands this high, you know. And that was it. Anyway, boy from youngish boy comes from behind the McDonald's counter. My niece is now getting ready to go, and he says, is there a problem over here? She said, oh, don't worry about it. It's those stupid cows over there. He said, well, what did they say? She said, well, please don't leave. Stay here as long as you want. This is a young boy working in McDonald's. Please don't leave. Stay here as long as you want. Well, we've finished now, really, anyway. He's gone over and chucked the girls out. How bloody rude. How rude are you? You know, to say that about people. This is a completely natural thing now. And besides, even when it wasn't, time to move into the 21st century, boys and girls. It really is. Just one of those things. It's not like she stands up, gets her breasts out and starts flashing them everywhere, is it? No, she is feeding her child. Stupid people. There she is now. Just told your story, Tracy. Feel free to reply to my niece about the story you just heard there. But Emily was going mad. Emily was absolutely going mad, the little 4-year-old. I'm a bit scared of going up to see her. I'm frightened to talk to my niece in the terms that I usually talk to her now if Emily's around, in case she starts beating me up. So there we are. Vile skanks. That was these teenage girls. Awful, awful people. Never mind. Anyway, that's the story there for you, okay? So I don't know what you think about that. Make your own comments. As always, you don't have to agree with anything I say or anything anyone else says. You make your own comments, and I'm always happy to read them out, all right? You should have gone over there, Trace, and gone like that psst, all over their faces. Oh, that would have been hilarious. You know, that's the other thing, Trace. Some people bottle it up, don't they, and sell it on eBay. Breast milk. I mean, I've tried it myself. I've squeezed really hard. Can't get anything out of mine at all. All right. Good. Let's have a look there. We've got some more stories for you today. Another story here from China, actually. Good morning to Jones Jane. Good morning, Jones Jane. She's one of my friends who have been a friend on Facebook for 7 years, a friend in real life for 20 years. Where did we first meet, Jones Jane? I was trying to think of that the other day. Was that a karaoke? Where did we first meet, Jones Jane? We're dying to know. I'll come back to you in a second. Listen, another China story here, and I don't know what you think about this. It seems a minor thing to me, jaywalking. Now, what exactly is jaywalking? Because I'm not sure. Is it where you walk along the side of a main road? Is that what jaywalking is? Just walking along the side of a main road? Because I don't really have a problem in this. Well, it's a big thing in some countries, certainly China. In today's Sun, it says jaywalkers in China are to be named, shamed and slapped with an instant text message fine. They're fining people by text message. What an excellent idea. What do they want to fine all the car drivers around here who park on the pavements? It's terrible down my road. I wrote to the council. Not interested. Not interested. It just surprises me. We've got cars down this road, my little road here. They are parked fully on the pavement. Not two wheels, fully on the pavement. Wheelchair, no chance at all in getting down that road, down that pavement. Now, I don't think we've got many wheelchair users down this road, fortunately for the cars. But they are seriously parked completely on the pavement. You cannot, and not only that, and also badly parked, so other cars can't get through. It is ridiculous down this road now. Ridiculous. It wasn't like that when I first moved here. Back to the story in China then. Jaywalkers are China to be named, shamed and slapped with an instant text message fine. And it's all thanks to cutting-edge artificial intelligence. Oh, yes. In the southeastern city of Shenzhen, police have set up artificially intelligent powered boards by crossings. If you jaywalk, a CCTV camera will scan your face, and flash it up on the huge screens for all to see, according to the South China Morning Post. If that wasn't embarrassing enough, There are now plans to ping offenders' phones with quick-fire fines as soon as they violated the grim rule. The artificial intelligence company behind the billboards, IntelliFusion, is in talks with mobile phone operators and local social media platforms to enforce the new system. The firm is reportedly speaking with WeChat, China's all-encompassing messaging app, which locals use for everything from work and personal chat to mobile payments and blogging. The country's answer to Twitter. It says jaywalking has always been an issue. What is jaywalking? I don't know what that is. Jaywalking has always been an issue in China, this bloke said. A combination of technology and psychology can greatly reduce instances of jaywalking and will prevent repeat offences. So, I mean, that's an easy way to do it, isn't it? When someone's doing something dodgy, you just send them a fine immediately. I mean, that'd soon stop them doing it, wouldn't it? I would have thought. Ray Reynolds says in the States, you only cross on the crossing and not went anywhere else along the street. Oh, is that what you mean? Sort of crossing the road where there isn't a crossing. Is that considered jaywalking? I don't know. I thought jaywalking was like walking along the side of a road. No? Is it like crossing a road where you're not supposed to? I mean, we do that here all the time. I mean, I've got to be honest, there's a very, very busy road in between my mate and me. The Bagshot Road, which he wouldn't try and cross it during the daytime. There's too many cars. But at night time, if I've walked over to his house at night and I might leave there sort of, quite late, 11 o'clock at night, and I walk back from there, I do tend to run across. Well, I don't run. Don't need to run. There's hardly any cars at that time. So I do walk across that road. Is that considered jaywalking? Crossing a road where there isn't a crossing? I mean, to cross at the crossing, you've got to walk another half a mile either that way, or go underneath. And I don't like going under underpasses late at night. Anything could happen to me, dear. I could be pushed against the wall and anything terrible could happen to me. No one cares. No one cares. No one would miss me. No one would miss me. Only the tax man. I do believe I single-handedly employ most of the tax force in this country. It's true. God, so I'll have another bill to pay in June. It just goes on and on. Out, 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 all the time. So annoying. Let's have a look here. One moment, please. Tracy said I was doing some young lad's hair the other day and he was on about jaywalking as well. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm not quite sure what it is. I think, according to Ray, it's where you cross the crossing where... Stop that, Jimmy. Cross the crossing where there is no crossing, if you see what I mean. I think that might be what jaywalking is, according to Ray Reynolds. Good morning to Jimmy Butler, who will be finding out where his holiday is on Sunday. Not Saturday, Jim. No, not at the party, because it's not your birthday until the Sunday. Thank you. In fact, I may reveal it to you. If you want to get up Sunday morning and come to church with me at that little Catholic church, then I might tell you there. Unless, of course, you want to wait till the evening, when I see you. Very, very busy. Very, very busy. Jones, we lived in the same area at Roehampton back in the day when your sister Sharon and my sister Tracy Whiffen were all great friends. We all used to go clubbing with you in Putney and always come to the discos. That was back then. Well, do you remember the discos I used to do in the Bessborough Hall? Up the stairs there. Do you remember those ones? Is that place still there? Bessborough Hall. Do you remember that? Had a big stage at the back. When I used to do, because I used to do mobile discos, gang, and you used to come up, there was like a back staircase, so you'd park your van at the back, and you'd open these double doors and come up the back entrance there, where all the bins were. I remember that. 12 a.m. No, Jimmy, no, it'd be, I don't know what time mass is in there, isn't it 10 o'clock there, or 9 o'clock? I could tell you after midnight, yes, I could tell you after midnight. Rod says jaywalking is not going directly, but using the roadway, eventually crossing the road further up the road. Ah, so you would walk along the side of the road and then cross up further out. That's jaywalking, is it? Oh, it all sounds all very complex to me. I know it's illegal in America, as Ray says. They take a very dim view if you do go do go jaywalking in the States, like in Florida or somewhere like that. Good morning to Ross Patzelt, who assisted me on my music and chat show last night. Good morning, Ross, who says Sophie has an awful night's sleep, so she's having a lie-in. Oh, poor little Sophie. Is it Sophie, the little girl talking at the beginning of your show? Is that your daughter or is that your girlfriend? I'm not quite sure whose names are who. I can't remember now, Ross. It's so long since I talked to you. Is Sophie a little girl? Is that her voice at the beginning of your show on one of the jingles? Isn't that nice? Oh, that's nice. So that's still there. Bessborough Hall is still there. Do they still do weddings and all that in there? And like parties and things like that? Imagine the curb as a barrier and you're not supposed to cross it. Okay, I'm with you now. I get it now. I do get it now. Good. So that's that. What else have we got here? I had a bit of a... Oh, I had to ring up the asthma woman yesterday. Now, so I get on the prescription. Oh, please ring this number to talk about your asthma thing. So I rings up this number. Oh, hello. Hello, Mr. Reardon. Can you tell us how much of the brown one are you taking? Because I've got two things, a brown thing and a blue thing. The brown thing is the preventer. So it's supposed to stop it happening, although it never has, to be honest. And the blue one is like the reliever. Okay, so if you have the blue one and it stops straight away. Now, I stopped using the brown one some time ago because it seemed to be damaging my mouth. And I did be doing that, and then I might have a meal later on in the day, and I'd get a big blood blotch in my mouth, right on the roof or at the back. And it was my specialist doctor who said, do you use that? And I'm like, yeah. He said, oh, that's probably what's causing it. So I then got this spacer thing, which goes in between the brown thing and that, like that. But it was still happening. So I stopped using it completely. And since I stopped using it, I haven't had a big red blotch appear in my mouth again. So it must have been that. Oh, so old Dorothy's on the fact. She's not a doctor. Not a doctor. Oh, well, you should be using the brown one, really. How often are you using the blue one? I said, well, hardly at all. She said, well, what's hardly at all? I said, maybe once, twice a day sometimes or not. She said, well, you shouldn't need to use it at all if you use the brown one. Well, that is not the case. I've always had to use the brown ones. I've stopped using the brown one. Oh, must be 9 months ago now. Maybe even as much as a year. And I've not using the blue one anymore. Oh, Christ. So I've had to pretend to her that I'm using the brown one so that I continue to get the blue ones. I mean, not pathetic. So it's just wasting money on the NHS. Listen, love, what you say, I'm not going to take that brown one anymore because it's damaging the back of my mouth, love. Oh, and they're not doctors, are they? You're just someone sitting in a blooming office. Oh, dear. Let's have a look here. Is Charlotte there? Is little Charlotte Cross there, bless her heart? Is she there as well? Oh, are you awake yet, Charlotte? Wakey, wakey, love. Jones, no, I know. Roehampton is not the place that we grew up in. You're absolutely right. Used to be a nice place, didn't it, in the 1970s, 1980s when we were there. Roehampton was a place in southwest London that I lived, boys and girls, from 69 to 83, with a very short gap of a few months in the middle where I got married and we moved away. But it was only for 9 months. Oh, you got to try everything once, haven't you? One of those things. Not everything is working for everyone, you see. Doesn't work for everyone. Didn't work for me. So sort of 1969 to 1983, it was a lovely place. It was quite new when we moved there in 1969. And very green. And we had Richmond Park just not far away. We were actually closer to Richmond Park than I thought. Because in front of our block of flats, then there was some more flats there. And then there was the college. And then just beyond the college was Richmond Park. And if you could walk, I mean, you couldn't go into the park from there, could you really? But if you could walk from my house to Richmond Park, you'd probably get there in 5 minutes, if in a direct line. But of course you couldn't, because there were walls and buildings in front of it, weren't there? Which is one of those things. Hello to Ode Hozo. Good morning, Odd Hozo. Hope you're well this morning. I hope I said your name right, Odd Hozo. Is that right? Morning, sir. And Mark Cording is there as well. I hope you enjoyed your little song last night, Mark. I played him AC/DC or Shaking Up or something like that. Was it Shaking Up or something like that? Good. Bit of news in this morning's Daily Mail about Ant and Dec. Oh, don't it go on and on. Ant and Dec. Well, it says here, a new mainstream entertainment show to be hosted by the beleaguered presenting duo Ant and Dec is to be shelved because it includes scenes in which the pair drink alcohol. Now, I've got thoughts on this. ITV bosses have reportedly opted to refrain from adding family tree show Ant and Dec's DNA journey to the programming schedule following troubled Ant's recent arrest for driving under the influence. So I get that. So that's the reason ITV have pulled that. I've got a different view of this. Okay, I understand they pulled it. I understand the reason that they pulled it. But why are you giving Ant and Dec yet another show? Why do they keep choosing the same people to present shows all the time? There's only a few people now. Why can't we have different... I mean, when we had Morecambe and Wise, or the two Ronnies going backwards now, people like that, they did the Morecambe and Wise show, or the two Ronnies. They weren't in on 101 other different programmes, were they? And I don't understand why we keep having to see the same people all the time. I'm not saying they're crap, because they're not. They're very good. But why do we have to keep seeing the same faces? It's like Philip Schofield, fantastic presenter. He can do anything you throw at him. But why has he got to be on every other blooming programme? Holly Willoughby as well. Holly Willoughby. She's on everything, isn't she? And I'm sick to death of seeing the same faces. I'd like to know your suggestions on that. We want to see some new people. Ben Shepherd on the quiz shows and breakfast and all that business. Thank God Piers Morgan is only on once a week. Oh, what a slimy git he is, isn't he, eh? Don't like him at all, Piers Morgan. Mark says, have you seen the Full Monty live on tonight for ITV for prostate cancer? It's a group of celebrities and tomorrow is the female one. No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't understand. Does that mean they all get their clothes off? What for? I can go on the internet any day and watch any amount of people with no clothes on. Sometimes I can't find anyone that I like at all, so I just parade myself completely naked in front of a mirror. And that does it for me. It probably would for you as well, Mark, to be honest, watching me naked in front of a mirror. Perhaps you'd like me to send you a little video. Would you like me to make you a little video? A little private personal video? For you to watch later on? Now, good news! Guess what's on? Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can find that story. I did have it lined up there. One moment, please. This is to do. There it is. Here it is now. Which one shall we have? The Sun. Let's have the Sun's version. No, we'll have... Here we go. We'll have the Metro's version. Metro's. I like to try and choose different newspapers, boys and girls. The Generation Game. Life is the name of the game. And I want to play the game with you. But well, it's coming back to your screens, boys and girls. Obviously not with Bruce Forsyth. They'd have to dig him up. And I wish they could. I wish, because he was the best one, followed by the great Larry Grayson. Oh, yes. And the other, who was the other bloke now? Jim Davidson. Oh, not for the generation. Didn't do it for me. That's not to say he isn't good. Not for me. Well, it's back on Easter Sunday. Easter around the corner. Christ the Lord is risen today. La 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 la. Not yet, though. Because there's bits in between first that have to happen before he can rise from the dead. He's not even dead yet. Not until Friday. It goes on. The Generation Game in yesterday's Metro. It's been a while since the Generation Game was on our screens, but it's back and it's looking very familiar. The reboots of I think they're testing it out. I think they're testing it out for a series, to be honest. The reboot of the ever-popular game show is being fronted by Mel and Sue, with contestants once again required to master some pretty tricky tasks in their bid to win prizes. From the looks of it, it's not just the contestants who will be struggling to get to grips with the games, at least if the duo's plate-spinning skills, or lack of it, are anything to go by. Meanwhile, fans of the show will be happy to know that a notorious Potter's Wheel round has made a comeback. The Potter's Wheel is back. Have you ever done that? We did that at school. I was very, very not good at that. I remember making my mum a vase at school pottery. It wasn't on the turning potter's wheel. It was like a thing, you made the shapes and you cut them out, you stuck them together and put them in the kiln and then painted it. You painted it first, didn't you, before you put it in the kiln, yeah, and put the glazing on. Now, I don't know what happened to that, actually. I probably got chucked out when my mum died and my sister went round to empty the house out. It says, but while some parts of it may look very familiar indeed, this is a generation game, to anyone who's ever settled down in front of the original show on a Saturday night, this one's got a higher celebrity element with the likes of James Arden. Oh, not fat Gemma Collins. Oh, God blimey. They've only got fat Gemma Collins in it. Why? Why have you got her in it? Or that James Arden? Ghastly people, dear. Awful, ghastly people. Won't be able to see the blooming contestants if she's standing there, will we? Oh, my name's Gemma Collins. F this and F that and crying her eyes out. Go away. Also, Johnny Vegas, Martin Kemp, okay. Gold, la da 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 da, from Spandau Ballet. They're judging up the efforts. Oh, Basil Brush. Aha. Basil Brush is showing up too, just in case it wasn't nostalgic enough. We're only getting 4 episodes of this. I gather they filmed more than this, but they weren't very good, so they're not putting them on. Mel and Sue said it's a cuddly toy, it's a toaster, it's a circular power saw. No, it's Mel and Sue doing the generation game. We cannot believe it. We are so excited. So in a new revamped version, Mel and Sue will be joined by a panel of all-star judges who will provide scores to the families after each game. No. No. Why have we got to have a bloody panel of judges on everything now? Who knows sod all about anything? Oh, well, it remains to be seen. I'll watch it on Easter Sunday. Hopefully I'll be able to watch that with my sister. And she will criticise it next to me. We sit there criticising it, me and my sister. To generation. That is shame. That is a shame. Now, Ray says there's only 2 editions. That's what I thought. Now, the paper said there's 4. I think there's only 2. Easter Sunday, probably the Sunday after as well. So we'll see what happens there. Mark reckons that generation game isn't going to be as good. We have to wait and see, Mark. I certainly don't like the idea of a panel of judges. I'm sick of seeing a panel of judges who think they're really important. They come on like they're some sort of superstars. Even Simon Cowell. A lot of money. Does a lot of stuff. But is he a star? No. You can't make yourself a star. People try it. The way people walk on, when these judges walk on, or all holding hands, looking important. Don't make you a star, mate. Shirley Bassey is a star. Barry Manilow is a star. Even the Queen is a star. Gemma Collins. No, love. You're just a great big fat lump. Go away. We don't want to see you. I hope you fall through another stage. That was the best thing I've ever seen. Gemma Collins falling through a hole in the stage. I don't think there was a hole in the stage. I think whether she's so fat and heavy, she broke the stage. Yes, I am correct in that. I'm sure. That's what it is. Ross says, the problem, if you have Ant and Dec on 10 different shows, and sometimes this happens after they affect a lot of shows. One show, one presenter makes sense. Yeah, we want to see different people on there, don't we? We don't want to see the same people on the telly all the time. It's not so obvious on the BBC, I must say. But certainly on ITV, it's like they got 5 people and they just keep rotating them onto all the other different shows. Let's see some new talent, please. Used to be like that. So Huey Green, years ago, Opportunity Knocks. He did Opportunity Knocks. And then he might do a game show. And that was it. You saw him doing 2 shows. You didn't see him doing 10. He wasn't on every day doing a different thing. It's just so boring seeing the same faces. It really is. And, some of these regular people who do the stuff are so fake. Ben Shepherd. I'm not a fan of Ben Shepherd. That is the worst fake smile I've ever seen in my life. Hello and welcome to the Ben Shepherd Show. My name's Ben Shepherd and I'm going to be Ben Shepherd on every day of this week. Now that's what you call a fake smile. Can you see the difference between this fake smile and the smile I usually do? Can you see the difference? And I can spot it a mile off, a fake smile. A mile off, dear. Get someone nice and young and pretty on there. I am available. I am available. Apparently Simon Cowell's got a new dance show on the BBC. Oh, he's managed to lever himself in there at last, has he? He's been trying to get on there for years, dear. Years he's been trying to get on the BBC. Oh, gosh. Hello, Juan. Good eagle eyes. Eagle eyes. Good eagle eyes. That's what we need. All righty, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Happy birthday on this, what's the date? On this Wednesday, the 28th of March, 2018. First of all, rest in peace and happy birthday to Stephen Bacon, who was an excellent drag queen that I worked with for a few years. He died a little while ago and he got cancer. And right up to his death, he was doing like little writings. Oh, God, what's the term? Blogs. He did little blogs and they were so funny. They were just so funny, these blogs about his activity in the hospital, the chemo he was having, all this, that and the other, right up to the very end. And I always remember the last little blog that he wrote. He said, well, my friends, I'm coming to the end of my journey now. And it was basically, thank you for reading this. I hope I've entertained you. See you again sometime. And that was the last one he wrote. And then he passed on. So, I mean, it just wonderful to be able to do that. And he was a lovely person. Always very nice to me. So happy birthday to Stephen. He was up there. He would be 45 years old tonight. And you're not forgotten. Happy birthday to Stephen Bacon. Happy birthday today to Carol Allen, who's 56 years old today. Lisa Allington is 43 years old today. James Gibson is 27 years old today. That's a nice suit you got on there, James. And Julia Russell is 43 years old today. Happy birthday, gang. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Stephen, Carol, Lisa, James and Julie. Happy birthday to you. All right? Have a nice day on your birthday, boys and girls. Tonight, it's Wednesday night, so I'll be hosting a quiz. If you're anywhere around the North London area in Islington, do join us at the King's Head Theatre Pub, 115 Upper Street in Islington, London, N1 1QN from 8:30pm. It's a good idea to get there around about 8:15, okay, so you can get a table there. We do get quite busy for that, okay? So once again, it's quiz night tonight at the King's Head Theatre Pub, 115 Upper Street, Islington from 8:30. The Wednesday quiz is back tonight with yours truly, Chris Reardon, reading the questions and playing for the music round as well. That's it for the show today. Enjoy your Wednesday. It still looks like it's raining out. I think I'm going to have to get my little umbrella out to go up to the swimming pool. Unless, of course, my mate picks us up. My mate comes around sometimes and picks us up in his BMW. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching and listening, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye now.